Hi guys, welcome back to Profess and Protest. Audrey here. Please, if you are new here today, subscribe, like, share my video, and the more that you comment and like, it actually pushes me through the algorithms a lot more. So if you have Twitter, please add me at Twitter at profess_protest, and you can share this on here. So to get into it, Colorado City to mandate coronavirus face coverings, threatening up to a year in jail for violators? Really? This is completely absurd. I was looking through the news, what's been going on, and I was alerted of this. This became mandatory as of this Friday, so I'll continue to read. The city of Englewood, Colorado, located just south of Denver, will require all citizens to wear face masks Friday as coronavirus cases are on the rise. Violators will have the right to a trial, but could face up to a year in prison or $2,600 worth of fines. This emergency order was issued by City Manager Sean Lewis and approved by the City Council Monday, detailing that everyone over the age of 6 years old will be required to wear a mask when outside their homes. The order directs all members of the public to wear face masks that cover both their nose and mouth while in any retail, commercial, or government offices, along with all healthcare facilities, including veterinary offices. All people taking public transportations are required to wear face masks. Drivers of public transportation services like Uber and taxi services are required. Face coverings are not required when in personal office and individuals are more than 6 feet apart from one another. This is absolutely insane, the insanity behind all of this. So you're telling me that you could face up to a year in jail after we just got done letting I think it was 16,000 inmates out at the end of April, I think it was. I will fact check that, but roughly about 16,000 out of the jails, including some people who are high-risk felons who did some heinous crimes. I'm not saying all of them, but I am saying there are ones in there who have, and I'm about to show you the statistics, so please stay with me on this. So the logic, it's insanity. So here, where was the next one? Okay, here we go. So over 16,000 U.S. inmates have been released as coronavirus crisis has progressed. This was published back April 16th, 2020. All right, so as of Thursday, there have been more than 16,000 inmates released from prisons all over the United States due to the novel coronavirus. A total approximately 16,622 inmates have been released or are scheduled to be released shortly due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The majority were being held on non-violent charges or were deemed to pose no immediate threat to society if released. By the way, I will back this up. That is not true because there's people on the list who have created a lot of crimes that are 100% felonies and people you don't want back on the streets at least until they're rehabilitated. I always believe in giving people a second chance. That's what Jesus stands for. But I'm not saying that you don't have to pay for the crime. You're going to do your time. So they're saying this. So, okay, let's go back to Colorado. So now you have to wear a mask or up to a year in jail or $2,600 fine. And that's, I guess, the nice way because nobody wants to go jail over a mask. Okay. And then you have a few months prior them releasing inmates because of the COVID-19, but they're claiming, hey, they're nonviolent. But also these people who aren't wearing a mask, that's not violence. This is insanity. So you're clearing our prisons, you're letting people out because of the virus, but yet if they don't wear a mask, all they're doing is making room for good people who are law-abiding citizens who decide not to wear a mask. Is nothing heinous. It's nothing that could really, it's just ridiculous. And they're letting those people out, but they're putting people who won't wear a mask in jail. So they basically freed the inmates, people who have committed actual crimes. I'm not going to say that everybody has always, it has been justice with the jail system and the court system because I've seen it fail people, so I'm not speaking on those terms. But I'm talking about people who have actually really committed crimes. They're letting them out to put somebody in there who wears a mask. Let that insanity sink in for just a moment. Just think about that. And so to say that, they're not all violent. Okay, well, let's check this. So on ABC News, it was reported inmates charged with violent crimes posed for release due to COVID-19. 2 men allegedly involved in a robbery where a New York City police detective was killed in friendly fire were among the violent offenders on the list of inmates stated to be released from the infamous Rikers Island jail complex due to the coronavirus pandemic, until prosecutors intervened, with multiple sources told ABC News. Christopher and Jagger were charged with armed robbery in connection with the February 2019 shooting of the New York Police Department officer. They appeared on the list of names obtained by ABC News that also included Victoria Nazarova. Sorry, guys, if I'm chopping up that name. Who was accused of trying to kill a woman in 2016. The only thing that kept the alleged violent offenders from being released was the intervention of the city's 5 district attorneys. I'm sorry, I'm already heated and I'm tripping over my words now. The point of this is they were trying to, if it wasn't for the 5 district attorneys realizing this, but you have to understand the government was all for this until people started speaking up. So they were ready to release violent criminals back into the streets, but because the virus is so dangerous, it's so bad, let's hang out with all the felons, And so they're trying to release those, and thank goodness those weren't released, but there's many other articles showing that people who have very sketchy past, people who have had records of like pedophilia and stuff as such, I guess they're not considered high risk. But who knows? Who am I? I mean, I'm not the government, right? So it took that for them to make sure that they could safely fight this. But the government already had lists. They should have already known. That should have already been flagged. That's not an honest mistake. Those things are honest mistakes. They're in high-profile prison settings for heinous murders, and they were ready to be released until people had started speaking up about it. And as soon as they get caught, of course, what do? They crawl back in their hole, and, people are able to fight this if they see it. But that took 5 different people, district attorneys, gathering together, getting the evidence, and fighting our system, fighting for justice, not to let these people out. But they were all for it. If that had just slipped under people's noses, and I thank God for these kind of people. But what they did is they stood up for this. But what is the logic behind these people were on the list to be released? And the only reason they were not released is because Good Samaritans. How can you trust that the government has what is in your best interest when they're ready to throw people in for not wearing a mask? If the mask works, the herd mentality, as it's supposed to say, then you should be fine. You have your mask on. It should never come down to this. And I am fired up, and it is very upsetting. And along with this that I saw, I was already pretty upset because I had watched a video where security guard and his wife had murdered a guy for an altercation that they got into at the supermarket because he came in, he was not wearing his mask. Security guard stopped him. They got into, verbal argument, words were said. So the guy went back out to the car, gets his mask, and when he walks back in, I guess they got into a physical altercation. And then as he started walking away from after the altercation happened, he started walking out the store. The guy took his gun and he shot him as he was walking away. I'm just flabbergasted at the whole thing, the fact that somebody's losing their life over disagreeing about a damn mask. Excuse my language, but it's infuriating. It's very upsetting. I'm trying to see mandate. I want to see if I have it actually on here. Let me see if I can go out, guys. Hold on 1 second. All right, let me see. All right, security guard kills man. Okay, let's see if it's over a mask. Over a mask in Michigan. Okay, and it's on CNN too. So this was the man. It was at Family Dollar, and this was on Friday for May 5th, 2020. But let's see, argument began. The customers, basically everything I told you guys. I will leave this in the link below so you can read it for yourself. That way you can always fact check me. But basically what happened, you could pause the video too to look at this. They had an argument and they shot him, and it's just I just don't even know. Like, this shouldn't even be happening. We shouldn't be getting to this spot in life where we're killing people. We're divided. We're so divided as a nation. If it's not race, it's a damn mask, okay? If it's not one thing, it's another. This is the point of what they want to happen. And I just feel like if people started putting 2 and 2 together, they would get 4. But for whatever reason, people are putting 2 and 2 together and making it 7. It just, none of it makes sense. But if you sit down, you actually look through things and you start comparing articles and things that are going on in the world versus what you're being fed and what you're being told, and how they're passing these rules, and how they're harassing doctors like Dr. Jensen. It's disgusting for him speaking out about the truth. They're silencing the truth, but they're perpetuating lies, and it's very upsetting to see. And that's why I guess I'm just really passionate right now about this. And usually I don't get too worked up depending on what it is, but I think it just kind of threw me over the line. Understand that Colorado as a Friday is mandatory and up to a year in jail. I'm disgusted with what is going on. And I just don't understand. There's so much more of us that we can use our voices, try to change what is going on. And instead, all this energy that everybody's putting into the Black Lives Matter and all these other kinds of groups that everybody is forming right now, and, defund the police and all these other things, we could be making a difference if we just all spoke the same voice. We're not going to take this anymore. We're not going to sit here, shut up, put a mask over our face, and submit. And I'm not saying anything, violent. I don't want violence. I want peace. I want people to come together in unity in a peaceful way, but to use our voices, to use our amendments. I don't encourage any kinds of violence. I don't want that. And all the violence I see going on is really disheartening. It's upsetting me, as I know it is a lot of other people. And I know this might not change. This might be rolling into some bad times ahead. I'm always prepared, but at the end of the day, I know that I'm safe and I abide in God's shadow. But it's the fact of helping other people wake up and see what's going on, and also protecting our families and the children who are subjected to this. Kids, they have no choice. They're innocent. And just all the violence that this has entailed and was ensued from it, I feel like this is things that we need to talk about. I get it. It's, and I look at other YouTubers' videos, and there's a lot of Jake Paul, all the people up at top, their content, makeup channels, which I'm not digging at, by the way, because, some things in there, I understand, but those get so much views because it's entertainment, it's distracting. And I understand YouTube channels like mine can be perceived as boring and dull and tedious, because I feel like people rather stay sheltered and not see what's going on and not do the work that it takes to open up your mind. They're using distractions, which they want you to be distracted, because if you really took time, you turned off that television, and we put down those, YouTube channels that we watch for 5 months, saying you can't watch anything ever and not have fun. I'm just saying, if people stopped putting their effort and energy into that, and actually saved at least 20 or 30% energy to look at their own research, do their own videos, or watch videos from A Call from Uprising, Richie from Boston, Stephen Ben-Danoon, his with Israeli News Live. There's so many good channels. The Vigilant Christian. There's many people out here. Oh, and Marcus Rogers. Absolutely love his channels. They're all channels that I totally recommend for everybody. If you haven't seen them, look it up, please. They're awesome. But if we put energy into those, we would understand more as a society. And I just feel like there's so much distractions out there, and that's why those YouTube channels, the other ones way up top, YouTube promotes those. That's why I always say it's important with liking. As I've been researching with the algorithms, it will push out my content more to people who are maybe going down the road of discovery. They're starting to hit the matrix, area, and they're starting to delve in and try to understand what's going on in the world. Maybe they're not Christian, which is, to me, if they see my video and they go, wow, this is weird, and they're starting to connect dots, but then they also hear the good message of Jesus, that can help them bring them to Jesus, and also research Revelations, research the end of times, research the plans that are coming to pass, plans that have already come to pass, and put together and open their eyes and see that the Bible is true and it's not a little fairy tale, because that's something that definitely helped wake me up when I started seeing facts, and then the facts were also in the Bible, and I put two and two together. So I think it's important to not only inform people, especially non-believers, but also by informing them and planting the seed. I always believe God waters that. So there's multitudes of reasons why I feel it's really important to try to get out these kinds of videos, whether it be, A Call for Uprising and all those other channels that really do such a phenomenal work. And I definitely respect my brothers and sisters in Christ. And I just feel, I guess I'm sorry for ranting because I went a little rant. Forgive me. Yeah, I just wish more people would they would wake up, they would see this. But I also have grace. I also understand what it is to be ignorant. I understand what it is to be lost. I understand what it is to live in your own fantasy land, safe and sheltered, without having to really look at the hard actual facts. I know what it feels like, so I really do have patience. I just really want to try to reach as many people, especially non-believers, so they can wake up and they can really see what's going on, and that they can have their souls saved. And if it's through this, awesome. It's through something else, awesome. But I know that that's my biggest mission on my channel. And I just wanted to reiterate that, because I know you guys know who've been following me for years, but that is something truly that I would love, is somebody start delving into this and question and question. And if you keep questioning, and God says, if you knock, he will open the door. You seek, you shall find. And I hope this just plants that seed of what if, and let God do the rest. All right, guys, thank you. Sorry for listening to me rant. If you made this long, wow, thank you. And yeah, you guys are awesome. And again, shout out to my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Shout out to my OGs, complete original subscribers. Love you guys too. I absolutely love my sisters and brothers in Christ. I think it's wonderful that we have this community at this time, that, if you're ever having a bad day, if you drop a comment and you need somebody to talk to and you don't want to do it publicly, I put my email on there. It's hoopboot0@gmail.com. I want to be more than just reporting on news and talking, just about this stuff. I also want to be somebody to help edify the church, to be there for somebody who needs help. And the way that you guys have been there for me when I've had my moments, when I went off of this for, I think, about like a good year or two, you were still there. And when I came back, you guys, for the most part, most of everybody, only a few people really left, but with open arms and absolute love, emanating exactly what Jesus stands for and what he means. And I just want to tell you guys, that means so much to me. Thank you guys for the prayers, and for not giving up on me, and for also giving me kind of that second chance to bloom and into the person that I am today. And all glory be to God and Jesus for the works that he has done in me, because he has done so much. Just so many things, and I was just thinking. So again, thank you for listening. I am going to start doing some sit-down videos again outside of my news videos, and just kind of talking about the processes that I've been going through, certain things that I've overcome that I haven't really completely talked about yet. And I'm feeling like I'm really getting to that point where I want more of a personal relationship with my community on here, so it doesn't feel like, it's just talking to a screen or just news. I want the community. And it's really important as Christians, especially in these times, to know we can lean on each other and we can have a safe place to talk. And I really wish that and hope that will be what my channel will be for many. And that's what I would like to make it, a safe place for all of us to fall. So thank you guys again. Love to you all. And until next time.